Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Roald Dahl is one of the most famous children's books ever written. And I'm sure many of you that are tuning in today remember reading this book with fondness as a child back in your school days. Don't agree with everything that Roald Dahl maybe wrote or said or did in his lifetime, just in case some of the keyboard warriors kick in. There's always somebody who likes to have a go if they don't agree with something. And I'm not endorsing Roald Dahl, recommending Roald Dahl, standing over his beliefs. I don't know what he believed about the Bible or about God or anything like that. But this is a well-known children's book, and there are many lessons in it that stand even for us to this very day. The danger of greediness, of selfishness, of spending your life in front of a screen, a television screen. There's a lot of life lessons in Roald Dahl's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. But one of the main characters is a man called Grandpa Joe. Grandpa Joe, I think, from memory, 96 years of age. And for 20 years, he hadn't got out of his bed. And sponged off the family, so to speak, didn't get out of bed, didn't contribute to the family. And we feel sorry for him in a sense, if that's his predicament. But as soon as he hears that there's a lifetime supply of chocolate available, a free trip to the chocolate factory, he springs out of bed and dances around the house. Just going to read that little excerpt now. It's on page 59 of this edition. Charlie has won the golden ticket. He comes home, he shows it to his family. Grandpa Joe takes it at face value and gets very excited. Grandpa Joe leaned forward and took a close look, his nose almost touching the ticket. The others watched him, waiting for the verdict. Then, very slowly, with a slow and marvellous grin spreading over all his face, Grandpa Joe lifted his head and looked straight at Charlie. The colour was rushing to his cheeks. His eyes were wide open, shining with joy. And in the centre of each eye, right in the very centre, in the black pupil, a little spark of wild excitement was slowly dancing. Then the old man took a deep breath, and suddenly, with no warning whatsoever, an explosion seemed to take place inside him. He threw up his arms and yelled, "Yippee!" And at the same time, his long, bony body rose up out of bed, and his bowl of soup went flying into the face of Grandma Josephine. And in one fantastic leap, the old fellow of 96 and a half, who hadn't been out of bed these last 20 years, jumped to the floor and started doing a dance of victory in his pajamas. 20 years in bed, and as soon as there's free chocolate, he's able to get up and dance around the room and go to the chocolate factory a few days later with Charlie. And it seems that from that day on, he got a new lease of life. And as I often think about Grandpa Joe, bedridden, unable to get up, sleeping, lying in bed, not contributing to the needs of the family, but as soon as there's free food, as soon as there's free chocolate, all of a sudden he's able to get up and get out of bed for all of the goodies. And there's a lot of Christians that are like Grandpa Joe. Whenever there's work to be done, they're sleepy, they're tired, they're not able to contribute, they're not able to lend a hand, they're not able to support. They just want to lie in bed, as it were, and be fed and do nothing. Don't want to pray, don't want to witness, don't want to help out in the outreach of the church, don't want to contribute, don't want to do anything. But as soon as there's something that appeals to the flesh, up they are, full of enthusiasm and full of vigour. If it appeals to themselves, if they can get something out of it, if it appeals to the flesh, if there's free food or there's something that they can get for free, they're able to be there. But whenever there's work to be done, they're nowhere to be seen. The Bible says, "Awake thou that sleepest, rise from the dead, and Christ shall give thee life." Amos chapter 6 and verse number 1 says, "Woe to them that are at ease in Zion." I wonder today, is there something that you could do? You say, "Well, I'm tired, I'm weary, I'm too busy, I don't have the energy, I don't feel so good, I can't go to church, I can't support the gospel, can't sit at the Lord's table, can't invite others out, can't help out with children's outreach, can't help out with the Sunday school, can't help out with the outreach team in the church, can't be there Sunday by Sunday, can't be at the prayer meeting, can't give out an invitation, can't witness for the Lord, can't put out a few chairs, can't help in the bus, can't help with the recording ministry, can't help with the food ministry, can't help with the senior citizens groups, can't help with the mother and toddlers, can't do any of these things because I'm debilitated, I'm tired, I'm weary, I've got all of these needs, I've got all of these conditions." But if there's a free sausage supper or a fish supper or something like that, or something exciting going on in the community, you'll be there. Dear friends, let's be consistent and let's be honest before God, and let's get the burden, let's get the victory, and let's rise up and be doing, and let's get excited about the gospel, and no more excuses. I know that many are genuinely incapacitated. We understand that fully, and we understand that completely. But if we're able to do things that appeal to the flesh with great vigour and with great enthusiasm, but we're not able to serve the Lord with gladness, something is wrong. Don't be a Grandpa Joe type Christian. Get excited about the gospel and let's be up and doing, because the coming of the Lord draweth nigh. See you soon, friends. Thank you for joining us.